Hello people, Jugglet here. So Behaviour recently tweeted this, and while I was a big fan of the Evil Within games, I couldn't resist but make this possible concept. So which killer is in question? None other than Stefano Valentini. He's an artist who photographed the horrors of war, whose eye was lacerated from shrapnel. Stefano's power manifests in the form of creating stable time loops to capture the gruesome deaths of his victims with his cameras. He's one of the main antagonists, well, sort of, from the Evil Within 2 games, and here's a little clip of what he's about.
You're beginning to bore me. Your death will be art.
So I'm trying not to give any spoilers about him too much, but he's a pretty nasty guy and he loves his camera. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail of his backstory, but I'll leave a video in the description of a YouTuber who has already done this in very good detail. I recommend taking a look. I'm mainly going to focus on his power if he was ever to come out in DVD. So, as you can see here, he loves taking pictures, he loves art, and he likes to teleport a fuck ton. So I'll be focusing on that. Now you're probably thinking teleport, Nurse does that already. Yeah, she does, and she's pretty bloody strong in the right hands. First off, the terror radius. I think a good starting point would be to have him with a large terror radius, similar size of Wesker's. In the Evil Within universe, most of his background music has a constant violin sound. Something like that I think would be pretty creepy. Anyhow, moving on to his first power. It has to be the teleport, but in a very strange, eerie way, similar to that of in the games. He sort of time jumps around and is very unpredictable. So comparing him to the Nurse, whose base kit blink is 20 meters, I would have his play a little like this. He has 2 charges, but he has to use them both. The max distance is 10 meters. He can go through walls, but he has to use both blinks to be able to attack. I know you think that probably sounds really, really clunky, but just hear me out. So the Nurse has an add-on, the flannel, which I'm using right now in this video. She can see where the blink will be. I'd keep that as base kit for Stefano, so you can see where he teleports, but he has to use them both. So imagine if the tile you think the survivor will end up at is 15 meters away. You use your first blink, you click the area, you don't teleport, but then when you set your second blink, you do teleport to the first one and then arrive at the second one. Similar to like a chessboard, it's a quick succession move. So in this example, beautifully drawn on paint, I blink 10 meters, followed by 5, then the lunge and hit the survivor. After that, the blink, go and charge, is stunned for maybe a couple of seconds, but then you continue moving. Your base run speed would be around 115%, like near enough all killers, excluding the Huntress, Hag, and Nurse. Obviously, he would move at a reduced speed whilst charging his teleport, maybe raise his camera to take a photograph, something like that. He would then have a trap-like ability, similar to the Hags. However, he would hang one of his beautiful pictures on the wall. He starts with 4, and every time he hooks another player, so a new player, he gains another photo. Each photo acts as a small terror radius, around 15-20 meters, and emits a low-sounding violin sound. If the survivor comes into contact with a photo within 5 meters, it will automatically recharge both of Stefano's blinks. He can then see the aura of the survivor who triggered the trap and anyone within the photograph's 20-meter terror radius. 15-20 meters, whatever. This would take a big learning curve to correctly chain his blinks, and I think the killer would be insane in the hands of someone who knows how to read survivors' moves. Yeah, he could teleport through walls, but don't forget he has to basically guess his second section of the blink if he can't see the survivors. Now, another thing I'd also add is, as I previously mentioned, a stun after blinking. I think 2 seconds would be fair amount, considering his movement speed isn't slow. In terms of balancing, if he was, say, stupidly OP, it's easy fixes like reducing his movement speed or increasing his stun duration, just something simple like that. His main weapon would be a knife. As you can see in every picture of him, he's always got a knife with him. And then I had another idea. Maybe if he didn't use a single one of his traps and managed to hook every survivor once, so that would basically be 8 pictures. He would gain like a special ability, like a third teleport after his second, or something random like versions of himself would intermittently teleport to survivors' locations, causing him to gain knowledge of where they are and basically give them some kind of jump scare. It's kind of cool. Lastly, if you have no idea who this guy is, I really do recommend playing the Evil Within games, as they have some really cool boss fights, cool storytelling, and well, you even get to fight the guy's camera, which is pretty nuts. If I had it my way, I'd add this guy to DVD, or this one, or this one. They're all pretty horrifying. Even fake Pyramid Head, from memory, is called the Keeper from the first game, and he's pretty cool. Maybe none of this will get added, but I had fun thinking about the possible ideas for this artsy maniac. If you have any suggestions or ideas, or think he's OP nerf nurse kind of character, I'd love to hear in the comments. If you've gotten this far, leave a camera emoji, because, well, this tweet. I've tried to keep this under 5 minutes and just about succeeded, so here's a small clip of the main man Stefano blowing some people's heads off like an absolute chad.
My work, however, will continue. Picasso had his blue period. I have entered my crimson period. Shit! No, don't! Behold my latest creation. No!